Everybody, it's Tyler here at Riverbots High School, checking in with 355Z Falcons coming in out of Illinois. A couple great event wins already in a Triple Crown too, so congratulations on that success. And a lot of great things we'll be talking about with this robot as well too. Pay attention in the front here, they have an awesome mogo mech for clamping on any position they're able to grab it into. We'll be demoing that. But a lot of other great changes as well too, we'll be going through from their intake. A couple things they're doing different with their Lady Brown we'll be talking about, and some future changes with that as well too. Sensors and a lot more. So let's learn more about this team coming up here on Pits and Parts. Carter, we got to start with this mogo mech that you've been doing and we were talking about beforehand, able to grab for any direction. So tell me more about that. We'll demo it, and then we got some other great stuff like mech plates and some stuff with your intake to talk about too.
Yeah, so if we spin the robot around here, you'll see there's actually like two parts of the mogo, and this helps us basically with grabbing from any orientation. So you can see this part, we call it the stabilization bar. This is basically to keep the mogo from being upright at all times. So if we clamp here, as you can see, it shoots straight up. And the main thing you want to notice is that the hooks always have to be very close to the mogo mech. And this basically allows us to tilt at any position. You'll see we have this second bar here, and we call it the extra tilt bar. Basically, if you unclamp, if you're on a corner, then you get a lot less clamping pressure, and you get a lot less height with your clamp and tilt. So what we did is we added these two, since the mogo is kind of curved here, and basically it helps push it up just that little bit more, so it's right in line for the hooks to score. And you can see from any orientation. You want to run the intake? It can score from here, or if we turn it, and then here. So it can score from any position, and this really helps us with our consistency and reliability during these matches and through skills as well.
And your team's been really fast, I think, on the field too, which has been great.
Yeah.
So combine those two, and you definitely have a lot of domination when it comes to mogo goals as well too. Talking about your mech plates, by the way, I love teams that are implementing those.
Yeah, so we designed these. You can find them on printables.com. Just search up Vex mag plates, and basically they allow for really nice, easy swapping. As you can see, we've got a couple different sets here. They're really nice to use, and they just really help us, quick swap our plates during these matches when we need to. Yeah.
I noticed you got a couple different font options on there. Is it just based on the mood, or what determines which one gets put on?
Yeah, so we just put whatever we think that looks really nice on here. As you can see, we have these kind of big and bold ones, and then we just kind of got this really nice and simple one. Yeah, we use both of them interchangeably, which really helps us stand out against the other teams.
No, definitely. Well. They look really slick, I think. So, yeah. Aiden, let's talk about on your Lady Brown. You made a couple different modifications, what we're seeing amongst the standard set out there in the standard meta. So talk to me more about that, and then maybe some feature changes you're looking at doing with your Lady Brown.
Yeah, so basically for our Lady Brown, we don't really have a typical Lady Brown. We actually have something called a passive Lady Brown, and we basically use these gussets here if you want to lift up the Lady Brown. And basically, if we intake here, we can see the gussets change the position of the ring. And then basically what we can do is before we even get to the wall stick, we can lift up our Lady Brown and drive into the wall stick. So that way when we are at the wall, so that way we don't need to turn the Lady Brown at the wall stick, making it harder for us to be pushed around. Also, you can see here, basically we've been needing to put a lot of bracing on our Lady Brown structure because it's been cracking a lot since we've been using half channels. So basically, for the future, we're thinking about adding C channels to make it much more structurally stable.
So for making these modifications compared to the standard meta out there, have you guys been happy with how it's been performing so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been really nice. One other nice thing about it is we can still use it like a normal Lady Brown. We can drive up to the wall stick and score just by rotating. So if we don't want to use the passive mechanism, we can still do that. But yeah.
Yeah, I was watching your last match on there, and you guys were able to score from a little bit of an angle too, which I thought was great also. So cool stuff with that. So Tony, on here, the first stage of your intake, we talked about kind of scoring onto the mobile goal, but talk to me about the two-wheeled intake that you have here.
Yeah, so we've definitely tried out a bunch of other designs for our intake. So one of them that we thought would work really well was the three-ring. But when you see if you have three wheels here, one in the center, since the ring is like a circle here, the middle wheel would grab the ring here, and these two would essentially become inactive until later pushed in. So, and like during odd times or something, and if the wheel would just be sitting here, it wouldn't like intake it. So then we decided to try out 2 wheels, and since the 2 wheels, they grab it here equally on the ring, helping us to push it up. And then here we have the Delrin ramp to kind of help guide it up into our second stage of the intake. But one of the problems that we faced was that it would go up into here, but it would sometimes fall out like that. So we added 2 strips of polycarbonate here to help keep it compressed into it and then up onto the next stage.
Sometimes simple things just make it work, right? And
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about it. I love hearing about too, like testing different configs on the wheels and stuff to try to get it right. Cool that you went with the 2-wheel for that also on there. Matthew, let's talk about the sensors on your robot and talk to me about just kind of how you're implementing the robot. And something I love to hear from programming side too, like are you looking at implementing any other sensors maybe for future events?
Yeah, of course. So for outside of like odd-time movements, we just have this rotational sensor, which we use just for more consistent Lady Brown movements. It just uses a PID and the input from this, and just moves it with the voltage from the motor. Really simple for that. For our Auton Select, we started using this last year. We really like using a potentiometer. So on the brain, you can see it says our Auton, and as I spin it, you can change it. And what's really nice about this is that you can see right now it's on blue left. If I restart the program, it stays blue left. And what that allows me to do is I don't need a combination switch ever. I just use the timed run function on the controller. It's really quick and easy. We learned it from 515R and spin up. Yeah, we really like doing that. The only other sensor we have other than motor encoders is IMU, which is there. Yeah, we just use that for heading, keeping it straight. We do hope to implement some tracking wheels. Right now we just don't have that much room or time right now, but we do hope to do that very soon.
And you're going to combine that still with the IMU too, right?
Yeah,
so
of course.
Very cool on that. Well, Falcons, thank you so much for telling us more about your robot here. Like I said, one of the quickest robots I've seen on the field and very fast scorer as well too. So good luck here at Riverbots, and congrats on a great season so far.